I asked Mr. Jorgensen a question about how the constitutional provision regarding residency should be interpreted, given the Utah Constitution requires residency for 5 years preceding selection. The appointee's response was that I was wrong, that the law is not what I stated, and that the word preceding is missing from the language. The word is, in fact, in Article 8, Section 7 of the Utah Constitution. So I'm concerned that as of Monday, the appointee did not demonstrate a full understanding of the residency requirement for this role. The appointee, after graduating in 1997, spent a year clerking for the Third Circuit, that was in New Jersey, came back to Utah between 1998 and 1999. He, in 1999, went to clerk in DC. He was living in Virginia. After that, from the years 2000 to 2012, he was working at a firm, and he was also residing in DC.
Senator, good information. It probably should be done in the debate. I'm trying to figure out, I would like you to explain your vote if you can. And
I am, Mr. President.
I'm trying to be tolerant of everyone, but I'd like you to, if you could, explain your vote.
I appreciate that. I'll be brief, but this is part of my explanation. After that, from 2013 to 2019, he was residing in Arkansas. And then from 2019 to 2021, he was in Korea and began the process of moving back to Utah in December of 2020. From July of 2022 to July of 2025, he was serving abroad in Chile. That's at least 23 years outside of Utah. Earlier today, my caucus and I discussed the constitutional provision and how a court would interpret the residency requirement if Mr. Jorgensen's confirmation were challenged. We consulted with our legal staff. They state that given what we know, it's not possible to predict how a court would rule. Staff did state that it would be helpful to know whether the appointee has held a Utah driver's license, filed his income taxes, or was registered to vote in Utah during the last 5 years. As soon as I got that feedback from our legal staff, I reached out to the governor's office several hours ahead of today's hearing or confirmation for help in answering those questions. I was told that they could not facilitate getting answers. Thoroughly working out the question of residency is important because a challenge against Mr. Jorgensen's confirmation would disrupt the work of the Utah Supreme Court, and it would cost Utah taxpayers money to defend his eligibility in court. Regardless of how a court would rule, more practically, I don't know that I'm comfortable confirming someone to the Supreme Court of the state who has built their entire career outside of it. I think it's important for justices on our highest court to practice Utah law, know Utah courts, and have worked primarily with Utah residents.